شبابا قد أنابا وإلى الله استجابا إن من يرجو الثواب لا يبالي بالصعاب.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, everybody. Welcome back, inshallah, to another lesson. I know it's been a minute. It's been, 2 weeks? But we're back, inshallah. We kind of got a little bit busy and we had fiqh as well. But alhamdulillah, we're back. Anyways, so, like we said, this is our level 1 for Tajweed. Inshallah, level 2, Chafat Atfal. Level 3, Muqaddimah al-Jazariyah. And if you guys see, right, the videos that I post, I put in the description a link for Chafat al-Atfal. It's recited by Sheikh al-Ghamdi. Right, he's a very famous qari. Muhim, if we need you guys to start memorizing this now, so inshallah when we get to Chafat al-Atfal, you guys already have it memorized. Right, it's very small, it's 60 lines. You guys probably know more Quran than 60 lines. Inshallah. If not, it's very easy, right? So inshallah, we want you guys to start memorizing it now, as we do these rules. Okay? Anyways, so we introduced An-Nun Sakina of Tanween, I think 2 classes ago, and we said that it had 4 rules. And then last class we introduced the first rule, which is Al-Idhar, and we defined that as إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه وإبقاؤه على حاله, meaning pronouncing every letter from its إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه, from its pronunciation spot, or bringing out every letter from its pronunciation spot, its correct pronunciation spot, وإبقاؤه على حاله, leaving it as it is. Now, some of the more advanced students, perhaps the ones who have already studied Chafat al-Atfal and are watching this explanation or the sharh, you will know that the definition that we used for idhar is not the famous definition that's found in the famous books. Like, for example, if you look at the sharh of Sheikh al-Jamzuri, or the explanation of Sheikh Muhammad Dabba', or other shuruh, you won't find this definition that we mentioned for idhar last class. And inshallah, I'm going to leave this for level 2, inshallah, where we explain why our shuyukh chose this definition for that, and how the definitions in the famous books, they have a little bit of nuqsan. They're not all encompassing, right? And the definition that we use, but that our mashayikh use, that we have been taught, are more encompassing and they're better definition, inshallah. So I don't want to confuse people, but that's the reason why, for example, you'll see us use specific definitions that are not usually used in the famous explanations, and that's for a reason, right? Because these definitions that we're using are more encompassing and are better general definitions than the ones in the famous books, inshallah, as we will demonstrate in level 2, inshallah. But anyways, so we said that was what idhar is, and we said that the letters of idhar are 6: hamza, ha, ayn, ha, ghayn, kha. 6 letters, throat letters going up. Hamza, ha, hamza fa ha'un, ayn, ha, ghayn, kha. Very easy. And like we said, the rule for idhar when you have nun sakina or tanween, right, with these 6 letters is you pronounce the letter or bring it out from its correct pronunciation point and leave it as it is. It's basically the default. Idhar is the asl, right? Idhar is the default when you it's like normal Arabic, right? You just pronounce every single letter. We talked about this. We gave some examples, like, for example, min, right? Min, khawf, nun sakina, kha is from one of those idhar. You just pronounce it normally. Pretty simple stuff. So yeah. Now for the big reveal. Today's rule, we're going to be talking about the second rule. And this rule is called Al-Idgham. We're actually going to erase all of this, inshallah, so we can put it. So, today's rule, inshallah, is something known as Al-Idgham. So, Al-Idgham lughatan linguistically, and we mentioned the fa'idah of doing this, right? So for example, you guys saw idhar. We said idhar linguistically, what did it mean? To make clear, yeah. So it meant to make clear. And literally, like when you have the noon second or tanween with the other letter, you make it clear. So there's a kind of connection, right? So it's just good to know. Lughatan, it is التدخيل. And in English, it means to join one thing into another, which is basically like merging, right? To merge something into another, right? To join one thing into another. Like, rough translation, like we said. So that's what it means linguistically. Now, what we're trying to learn, what does it mean istilahan in the context of tajweed? So, النطق بالحرفين حرفا مشددا من جنس الثاني. Make those dots more clear. So it means النطق بالحرفين حرفا مشددا من جنس الثاني, which basically means pronouncing two letters, consecutive letters, right? Because it's noon second to mean they have to follow each other. Two consecutive letters as one single. How do I say mushaddada? Like as one single. I'm just gonna keep this mushaddad. Mushaddad letter, the same as the second. This will make sense, inshallah, once I explain it. So, pronouncing two consecutive letters as one single mushaddad letter. I don't know what mushaddad is in English, but mushaddad letter, like we pronounce it as a single letter with the shadda on it, like mushaddad letter, the same as the second. What does this mean? Before we explain the letters, I'm going to give a few examples just so you guys can see. So, for example, if I have for example, if I have the word in the Quran, min rabbihi, right? Do we have noon second and tanween? Yes. And ra is one of the letters of idgham. We're going to get to this. But I just want to show you guys the concept. I'm defining it with an example. Right? We have noon sakina and we have ra. So it's min rabbihi. So we're going to pronounce the two consecutive letters, which is the noon and ra, as one single mushaddad letter, the same as the second. So I'd say, instead of, so like in Arabic it's min rabbihi, but in the Quran I'd say mir rabbihi. So notice I'm pronouncing the two consecutive letters as one single letter, mir rabbihi, and that one single letter is mushaddad, mir rabbihi. It's mushaddad and it's the same as the second, mir rabbihi. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So, two consecutive letters, noon and ra. I'm pronouncing the letter as one single mushaddad letter, and it's going to be the same as the second. So I'd say min rabbihi. Okay? And it's basically just like merging the noon into the ra, or the tanween into the ra. So for example, if I have, what's an example for tanween? Let's bring the book. Yeah. So for example here, right, this example, we have ra'ufun rahimun. So Tanween Dam, and we have Ra. Well, it's the Tanween, right? Focus on the Tanween and the. So Ra'ufun Rahimun. And like we said, the ruling when it comes to Tanween Noon Sakina is the same thing because like they both have the Noon sound, right? So we're gonna pronounce the two consecutive letters, right? Because Noon Sakina, like because the Tanween is not an actual letter, but it has that letter sound. So that's why like letters. So pronouncing two consecutive letters, which is the N sound in the Tanween, and the Ra, those are the two consecutive letters, as one single mushaddad letter, and it's going to be the same as the second. So we're going to say Ra'ufur Rahim, right? Because Ra is the second letter, it's mushaddad, and we're basically combining them, and we're saying the same as the second. Ra'ufur Rahim, right? I know it's going to be confusing, but inshallah with a lot of examples, it will make sense. Okay? So now that we understand the definition, we're going to look at the different type, we're going to look at the letters of Idgham. Okay? So what are the letters of Idgham? The letters of Idgham are 6. Yarmuluna. But they are split into two categories. One with ghunna, one without ghunna. And what is ghunna? Ghunna is basically, without being too formal about it, is the nasal sound that is accompanied when pronouncing noon and mim. Because noon and mim in the Quran naturally, they have this nasal sound, like a little bit of ghunna. Very little. But it doesn't show. It shows, but it's sometimes not noticeable for like the beginners. However, like in specific cases when we have longer ghunna, you'll notice this. For example, in the Quran when we have min nurin, right? Min nurin. In the Quran it's pronounced min nurin. That's nasal sound. Actually, if you try to cover, right, your nose, because that's where it comes from, the nasal sound. When you try to cover it, your nose, you won't be able to make that sound, or it'll be really hard. So for example, min nurin, min, you can't, right? It doesn't allow you because that just shows you that it comes from, it's a nasal sound. Or for example, with meme, so it's for both noon and meme. Meme, so we have the word min ma'in, it will be mim ma'in, mim ma'in. It's hard. I think my ears popped. Muhim. And we're gonna discuss like when this type of ghunna happens, etc., etc. But I just want you guys to understand that that's what ghunna is. It's that nasal sound that comes from the nose. Right? So the first category is with ghunna. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna do a little with ghunna. But first, idgham, the full 6 letters without the categories, it's yarmuluna or yarmaluna, right? So it's in one word. I guess, let's see, I want to write it somewhere. Do it here, right? Yarmaluna, which is the same as ya. I mean, yarmalun or yarmalun is short for ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, noon. So these 6 letters. And then these are the 6 letters that are split into 2 categories. The first is with ghunna. The second is without ghunna. So first we're going to talk about the letters with ghunna. The letters with ghunna, it can be said as yanmu, right? Yanmu. Which is basically ya, noon, mim, and waw. These 4 letters, you accompany them with ghunna. What do I mean? So we're going to give examples for every single one. So, for example, let's use the examples from the book. Well, I'm going to just put it right here for now. Okay. So So, like we said, idgham is basically just merging the noon or tanween with the noon sound, whatever, into the second letter, and we're pronouncing it as a second letter. Right? So, for example, here we have man yaqul. We just merge it. So we basically kind of just forget about the noon. Man yaqulu. Man yaqulu. And notice how we do that ghunna. That ghunna of like 2 seconds. Man yaqulu. Is that 2 seconds? من يقول مهم مقدار حركتين. Like meaning like not 2 seconds, or maybe it's 2 seconds, I'm not sure, but if this equals 2 seconds, but basically you see that the haraka, the vowel, that how long it took to say that, times 2. That's what it means, two like harakatain. So I'd say من يقول. So notice the noon is basically gone. I just merge it right into the ya. Okay? And when it comes to idgham naqis, idgham kabir, all this stuff, we're going to leave that for level 2. Because I don't think that's for the beginner. Or for example, baqa'ul makhraj, or baqa'ul sifa. Like, this is stuff that's for later, inshallah. Right now, we just want to understand very simply what the rule is, right? So, man yaqulu. Notice how I merge, right? So these are the 4 with ghunna. Same thing here. Min narin. Even this is 2 noons, right? But I forget, I don't say min narin. No, I just get rid of, I basically merge the noon into the other one, and I pronounce the second letter, which is the noon here. So it's as if it's not there. I'd say min narin. And like we said, merging the 2 letters into one mushaddad letter, that's the same as the second, right? Min narin. Same thing here. Mim ma'in. It's like the noon is not there. Mim ma'in. It's like me going like this. Mim ma. Well, it's memdud, but mim ma'in. Right? And look, shadda, shadda, shadda. Even though the shadda is not written here, but it's there. And then, like, for reasons, inshallah, like we said, we'll explain in level 2. I don't want to confuse people right now. Or for example here, miwalin. Miwalin. So these, like we said, you merge them. Idgham definitely, in general, you're merging the first letter into one mushaddad letter. That's going to be the same as the second. But the first category is with ghunna. You do that ghunna thing. Okay? And where's the marker? The second category is without ghunna. It's whatever's left, which is just the ra and the lam. So for example, you'd say min rabbihi, and an example for the lam, min ladunhu, I think is good. Right? So, let me come here. So, we have min rabbihi. Oh, it's going to be shidda as well. Let me make this clearer for you guys. I don't want to confuse you. So, and then we have min ladunhu. So, same thing. Noon sakina or tanween. I'm just using noon right now, but we'll give examples for each one. I'm just using noon right now because it's the easiest. Min rabbihi. Min rabbihi. Merge into one single mushaddid letter. That's the same as the second, which is the ra. Basically just min rabbihi. Same thing here. min ladunhu, min ladunhu. And these, notice how they don't have no gunna. We don't say min rabbihi or min ladunhu, even though inshallah as you guys will learn in level 2. Like, I'll leave that as a surprise. But so min rabbihi min ladunhu, no gunna. So idgham yarmunun or yarmalun with gunna, yanmu ya noon mim waw. You do the gunna, which is the nasal sound for miqdar harakatayn, right? You hold for like 2 vowels, which is it considered 2 seconds? I don't know, but go with the timing that the ulama use. Miqdar harakatayn, 2 vowels, basically ma, that haraka times 2. So man yaqulu, right? And then the second category, no gunna, min rabbihi min ladunhu. Inshallah, right now we're gonna give examples for each single letter, inshallah, to make it easier, and then we'll have an example at the end. Inshallah, I think that should be good. Bismillah. So each one, we have 2 examples in the order that Tuhfat al-Atfal mentions them. Yarmuluna, yarmaluna, ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, noon. So if we have man yaqulu, is ya from the letters of idgham? Well, first, do we have noon sakin and tanween? Yes. Is ya from the letters of idgham? Yes. Okay, which category? Is it the one with gunna or without gunna? It's with gunna. So therefore, we'll do gunna and we'll say man yaqulu. Perfect. Next up, tanween. Wa barqun yaj'aluna. Do you have noon sakin or tanween? Yes. Ya is from the letters of idgham? Yes. Is it from the categories of with gunna or without gunna? With gunna. So we'd say وَبَرْقٌ يَجْعَلُونَ. Okay? Next up, ra. Do we have noon sakina or tanween? Yes, we have noon. By the way, sometimes in the Quran, noon sakina, it won't show up with the sukoon. In idgham, noon sakina, it will not show up with a sukoon. Just so you guys know. So if you don't see anything with the, if you see a noon without a sukoon on it, it's a sukoon. Like if you see a noon with nothing on it, it's a sukoon. Anyways, do we have noon sakina or tanween? Yes. That's a kasra, by the way. It kind of looked like 2 dots for a second. Anyways, Isra. Do we have Isra from one of the letters of idgham? Yes, it is. Is it from the category of with gunna or without gunna? Without gunna. So we'd say min rabbihim, min rabbihim. Right. What's an ayah that has that? Min rabbihim. I don't have it at the top of my mind. Next one. Thamaratin rizqan. Do we have noon sakin or tanween? Yes. Is ra from one of the letters of idgham? Yes, it is. Is it from the categories of with gunna or without gunna? Without gunna. So therefore we'd say thamaratin rizqan. Thamaratin rizqan. Right? Good. You might be wondering, why don't we say thamaratin rizqan? Inshallah, this will be all in the future, inshallah. But if ra has a fatha, you pronounce it, it's heavy, ra. If it has a kasra, it's light, ri. Right? Thamaratin rizqan. Thamaratin. So you make the idgham light, like to begin with, so you can merge it light, so it can meet. Because if I merge heavy, and then I go to a light letter, it's gonna be hard. It'll be something like thamaratin صعيبة. It's hard. So ثمرات رزقا, right? But here, for example, من ربهم, it was heavy. من ربهم, right? Okay, next up, mim, right? Min ma'in, noon sakin and tanween. Yes. Mim is from one of the letters of idgham. Yes. Category of gunna or without gunna? Gunna. So I'd say mim ma'in, mim ma'in, right? Good. Next up, mathalan ma. We have tanween. We have mim. Is it from letters of idgham? Yes. Actually, I don't know if this helps you guys, but I'm just gonna do it here. Like highlighting the 2, so just so you guys can see it. مثلا ما, we said tanween, mim, which is from one of the letters idgham. right? So is it with غنة or without غنة? It's with غنة, so we'd say مثلا ما مثلا ما. Good. لام ولكن لا. نون ساكنة, yes. Or tanween, well, we have nun sakina here. Lam from another letters of idgham, yes. Ghunna or without ghunna? Without ghunna, good. So we'd say walakin la. It's literally as if the noon's not there. Walakin la. Good. Next up, hudan lil muttaqin, right? So Al-Baqarah at the beginning. Hudan lil muttaqin. We have, like we said, you guys remember when we said that if you have tanween al-fath, fathatain, the two fathas, it's usually always followed by an alif. This is another way to write the alif. So it's as if it's not there. It's not part of the two letters we're talking about, right? Because the alif is always going to come with the fathatain except in very specific cases. So it's as if we're just looking at this and this, because this anyway is part of that. Okay. Hudal lil muttaqin, right? Tanween, la from one of the letters idgham, without ghunna. Hudal lil muttaqin. Good. Next up, min wal. Nun sakina, yes. Wow, letters idgham, yes. Ghunna or without ghunna? Ghunna. Min wal, min wal. Good. Next, غشاوة ولهم. Tanween, yes. Wow, which is from the letter of idgham, yep. Ghunna without ghunna? Ghunna. So we'd say غشاوة ولهم, right? غشاوة ولهم, غشاوة ولهم. Good. Noon, min narin, right? Merge into one letter, mushaddad. It's the same as the second. Min narin. Notice how I didn't say min narin. No. Ra is light. Min narin. Good. And obviously, when we teach you, like we said, when we teach you guys these theoretical, this is just to help. When we teach you guys these theoretical parts of Tajweed, this is just to help with the practical part, which can only be done with a teacher. And when you combine the two, you will receive the greatest benefit, inshallah. That's the most beneficial. Anyways, يومئذ ناعمة. Tanween, yep. Noon from one of the letters of idgham, yes. With ghunna or without ghunna? With ghunna. So I'd say يومئذ ناعمة. وجوه يومئذ. Oh, and even the word before actually is also, because Surah Al-Ghashiyah, right? وجوه يومئذ. Yeah, it's from one of the letters of idgham. So I say وجوه, and it's with ghunna, so I do the ghunna as well. So I'd say وجوه, because tanween, وجوه, tanween, followed by yeah, which is one of the letters of idgham, and it's from the letters of ghunna. So I'd say وجوه يومئذ ناعمة. Good. Now, inshallah, final thing, we're gonna put one ayah or something like that, or a surah or something like that, and we'll tell you guys, inshallah, to tell us letters of idgham and idhar, right? Because you need to remember from last lesson, inshallah. We have from Surah Al-A'raf, like I said, if you can't read my handwriting, search up Surah Al-A'raf, verse 35, and you can see the typed up or whatever, the nice handwriting. So, I'm going to give you guys, inshallah, whatever, take the time you need. Find me idgham and idhar in this ayah. Okay, bismillah. Ya bani. So we have like noon sakina and tanween radar. If you don't see noon sakina and tanween, we just don't do anything. Ya bani, no noon sakina and tanween. Adama, no noon sakina and tanween. Imma, nope. Ya'tiyannakum, nope. Rusulun, tanween. What's the letter after it? Meme. Is meme from one of the letters of idhar? No. Is it from the letters of idgham? Yes. Is it with ghunna or without ghunna? With ghunna, sorry. With ghunna. So we'd say rusulun minkum. Rusulun minkum. The noon and the kaf something else, but focus on the tanween and the meme. Rusulun minkum. Okay? يقصون no nun second tanween. عليكم nope. آياتي nope. فمن اتقى nope. وأصلح nope. فلا خوف. Oh, there we go. Tanween. What's after ain? Is ain from the letters of idhar or idgham? Idhar. So therefore, we pronounce it as it's supposed to be and leave it from its correct pronunciation point and leave it as it is. خوف عليهم. فلا خوف عليهم. ولا nope. هم nope. يحزنون. So notice إظهار إخراج كل حرف من مخرجه وإبقاءه على حاله. So you pronounce the letter from its pronunciation point and leave it as it is. Right? Leave it as it is. So you like here it's like we said, we talked about the noon and ilhar for different letters, whatever. But here it's talking about the noon or the tanween, like the noon sound in the tanween. خوف عليهم عادي. Here idgham رسل منكم, we'd say رسل منكم. Why? We pronounce شنو هي؟ نطق بحرفين حرفا مشددا من جنس. Yeah. Okay. So we pronounce the two letters as one single mushaddad letter. That's the same as the second, which is the meme here, right? So we combine the tanween, which is the n sound, the noon sound, with the meme, right? Into one mushaddad letter, which is going to be the same as the second, which is the meme. So we'd say رُسُلٌ مِّنكُم, right? And the way we'd recite this ayah, is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا بني آدم إما يأتينكم رسل منكم يقصون عليكم آياتي فمن اتقى وأصلح فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. From Surah Al-A'raf. So I hope inshallah everything was clear. After we finish all 4 rules, inshallah we'll have like a review session of everything. And like we said, find yourself a teacher, guys. Alhamdulillah, you guys are lucky we're in person, right? You can come recite whatever. Go to the masjid, try to find a teacher, practical, so you can combine the theoretical ilm that you're learning now, theoretical knowledge, with the practical of the teacher teaching you, and you will benefit the most, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله, and we'll see you inshallah in the next lesson.